But I think any college officials really saying anything about nothing being imminent or whatever, I'm just going to take that in one ear and let it fly out the other. They may be 100% stone cold truthful as all get out, but it's college athletics, and we see how things change by the hour, much less by the days or by the weeks, by the months. I did say a couple days ago that I thought it felt as though things were going to slow down a little bit because it's kind of what happened with what happened with USC and UCLA, it's kind of what happened with Oklahoma and Texas last year. Yes, at the lower levels, so to speak, there was a lot of movement that was ongoing in the aftermath of that. But then the season rolled around, right? And it kind of just stalled out a little bit because everybody had to change their focus. And we're a couple weeks away from fall practices starting. So I think a lot of the focus is going to be on football. But I don't know. In this environment, I don't have any info or anything like that to oh no, something's coming around the corner, but I don't buy that, them saying nothing's imminent means that nothing's actually imminent. And I don't think that they're lying. I just think you can't really predict that kind of a thing in this day and age nearly as much as maybe you used to.
From the 213, and we'll break here. Beef jerky in a younger, hipper, cooler Big 12, question mark. Somebody is confused. He might want to take a look at the culture after he visits those 14 schools, which he said he was going to do in the first couple of months on the job. More beef jerky and less younger, hipper, and cooler would be a good guess. Nothing cool about 107-degree heat. He'll learn this is not Jay-Z's backyard. So that's from the 213, who at times does kind of look at things a little different, but we appreciate the feedback as well.
Yeah, it's a 72 in Jerry's world.
Yeah.
Very hot outside, but it's nice and cozy in here. Even with all the bodies that were here earlier, it's thinned out a little bit from what it was when the press conferences were going on. But, I brought up the whole thing with him and knowing the lay of the land. And, you said, well, Matt Rule didn't know Baylor and Waco, Texas when he first arrived. And, yeah, I'll give you that. But it wasn't really so much my point is that you can't learn it. But, to not really have a great grasp on what the Big 12 is. And it doesn't have to be what it's always been because that's why they're in the position they're in.
Right.
You need somebody new. But you also need to have, some of the same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like...
Well, then you hire other people like Matt Rule did that have that
so
wavelength.
I'm sure that's what will happen. But as of now, he's only got one employee that he's bringing over, and it's his assistant. That's what we did learn today. And everybody else is already in-house and has been here. And so I'm sure some of that will change as well. But, yeah, I think the visits to the schools is going to be very important, which he's going to do over the coming weeks. He's going to go to every campus and visit and get to know their people and get to know the lay of the land, so to speak. And I'm sure he'll have a much better idea of all of that once that wraps up.
By the way, there were a couple of groups here today. UCF had a contingent here. Also, Brigham Young, Brett Pine
Sup, UCF.
was here. Yeah.
Sup, UCF.
Yep. Brett Pine was also here from Brigham Young and others. In fact, he's over at the TCU campus with meetings there.
Oh, yeah.
So the incoming group, they're pretty excited about being here a year from now. Also, this is one more text. We'll break. I keep saying that, but I want to get this in. From Joel, new commissioner, sometimes you can just look and listen to a person and get how they are. This guy clearly is serious with a lot of energy, able to massage negotiations, you can tell. He's not going to let tradition or what has been done get in the way of what he thinks should be done for the future.
I agree with that. I don't think he's like some kind of hard ass, but I just think he's very smooth and operating in the business world. And I do think that's going to come in handy for every, beef jerky joke or whatever. I do think that you're going to see him bring some sponsors on board that can bring some more money to the conference. He mentioned he'll use his Rockefeller ties to, if they can get Jay-Z or something, and I know that's like probably the most off-the-wall thing, but if they can get Meek Mill in here, at the halftime of the Big 12 championship game just to make it a little cooler, then I think that's the route he'll go. And, that's not traditional Big 12, but again, traditional Big 12 has led us to this point where for the billionth time they're undergoing another revamp because schools are leaving. So having a fresh set of eyes, having a fresh outlook and changing things up a little bit, I think will bode well. And I am feeling a lot better after hearing him speak today. I need to see actually, some action on those words. But for starters, I do think to that texture's point that he's going to be good as far as that goes.
When we come back, we don't know if it'll be Chris Clyde.